What is strategy? Strategy is often mistaken for just a plan or a list of goals. However, it's far more than that. Strategy explains how an organization accomplishes its goals in a competitive environment. It involves deciding what actions to take, and just as importantly, what to avoid. Strategy is more than a buzzword. It is the disciplined process of figuring out how an organization will achieve long-term success in a constantly changing environment. The business's strategy determines the long-term direction and scope of the organization, focusing on how to gain an advantage by allocating resources within a challenging environment to meet market demands and satisfy stakeholders. Organizations need to evaluate the markets and activities they plan to pursue and identify the boundaries they will intentionally avoid. Importantly, they must also assess their current position to understand where and why it either creates or destroys value in support of these strategies. Environmental scanning should be carefully considered, and the most commonly used frameworks are PESTLE, which covers political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental factors, and Porter's 5 forces for competitive analysis. Successful organizations will identify a winning aspiration, decide where to play, determine how to win, build necessary capabilities, and design management systems to support the business. Within organizations, there are different levels of organizational strategy. First, there is the corporate-level strategy. Here, organizations or those responsible, usually the CXO, decide which industries or markets to compete in and how to allocate capital. Next are the business-level strategies. Here, each unit defines and organizes activities to support the corporate strategy, including projects, costs, etc. Finally, there are the functional strategies. These strategies turn choices into everyday resource use, processes, and staffing. Remember, strategy clarifies the path toward the goal by defining the arena and the unique way the organization will create value. Most importantly, strategy is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing cycle of understanding, choosing, and executing. Organizations should regularly revisit the building blocks, especially when market conditions change or when the organization undergoes a strategic refresh. Creating strategy is only half the battle. Execution is where many organizations stumble. Strategy requires tough decisions about where to compete and how to succeed, and the organization must make difficult choices. It is also crucial to clearly articulate a winning aspiration and turn it into decisions about customers, geographies, and channels. The strategy must be backed by suitable capabilities, skills, technologies, resources, and management systems, structures, incentives, metrics. Strategy should be a shared framework that guides daily actions, and it is necessary to engage managers at all levels in framing, diagnosing, and committing to the strategy so they understand its rationale and can act consistently. The organization will also need to commit resources, especially to capital, talent, and management attention to strategic priorities. Without resource commitment, strategies remain aspirational. The organization will also need to monitor and adapt, so it will need to use performance indicators and market signals to assess whether the strategy is working, be agile, and adjust the plan when assumptions prove wrong or when new opportunities arise. Takeaways for organizations. Strategy defines the organization's long-term direction and scope, specifying how it will allocate resources to achieve a sustainable advantage in a challenging environment. Strategic thinking requires deep insight into where value is created, a clear view of the future, a willingness to explore alternatives, and the courage to choose. And execution matters. Allocate resources and build systems that match the chosen strategy, track progress, and adjust as conditions evolve. By embracing these principles and using the building blocks to organize their thinking, organizations can develop strategies that are both grounded in reality and capable of delivering goal-oriented results in a dynamic environment. Remember, at its core, strategy is about building a sustainable competitive advantage. This involves finding ways to distinguish your organization from competitors and provide greater value to customers. It requires a thorough understanding of your organization's strengths and weaknesses, as well as the opportunities and threats in the external environment. Thanks for watching. Click the like button and subscribe to the channel to get notified about future content. See you in the next video.